you can't.
It's good to hear it
And spending a lot of money
from a
unnecessarily.
professional like
So
yourself,
that's
because
my feeling on climate change and
yeah,
climate cycles.
yeah, but we should have a real discussion
Are you all
about
there?
this, the whole thing of
Yeah.
climate change. And I would love for us to look at all these, those large hurricanes or big hurricanes that we really had. Because as you rightly said, Janet was not a hurricane. But it's good for us to look at the history and to see the number of years, and even to look at the Caribbean. I used to love geography, so I guess I'm getting fascinated by all of that. Well, Mr. Knox, is there anything else that you wanted to tell us? I've learned so much tonight. When I pass the Three Houses Spring, I will look at it in a
No,
whole
I think
different way.
that is basically what I wanted to say. Yeah.
Good.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you
The,
so much.
I'd say one thing. The
Yes,
hurricane in 1780. Okay, you're welcome.
the hurricane is what? Repeat,
The
please.
hurricane in 1780 killed
1780.
the hurricane in 1780.
Yes.
If you Google the 1780 hurricane, it
Mm.
killed 22,000 people through the Caribbean and into America. 22,000, right? There's no hurricane, but obviously nobody knew it was coming, and they didn't have the building structures to protect them as they do have now. But that is the size of the hurricane that happened in 1780. That's about 200 and getting up to 250 years ago. No, 250, yeah, about
Hmm.
almost 250 years ago. So it isn't that the weather is suddenly taking a change, and it's just a cyclical. That's all.
Just cycle. Wow, very interesting. I wanted to come back with that, with that as well, and we can look at the same thing with
Okay.
earthquakes and so on in the region. But it's a pleasure to have you. I know Mr. What's his name? Glenville.
Yeah.
Grenville. He says you're the Elon Musk of Barbados. And I love to give people their flowers. And I've learned a lot from you, coming on here with your maps. It slows us down, but it's good because you learn something. I know about Brown's Pond that is changed to Pond. I learned about all of that water because I couldn't understand why my friend's farm was doing so well. Now I understand why. And I'm going to share some of this with him. Sometimes he watches the
Okay.
show. But yes, but thank you so much. God bless.
You're welcome. God bless you
Yes,
too. Thank
yes,
you.
yes.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Yes, yes, yes. It's great. I love this kind of thing, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Miss McLean, before we go any further, any comments on hearing how much water the spring, gives off? Isn't that interesting?
I think we have issues of water supplies that need to be tapped and so on. The only other comment is, and I would differ from you all. You talk about cycles, but perhaps the cycles are indicative of climate change. But we will discuss that at another time.
Yeah, I think he's talking about climate change, but
No,
it's not.
I understand what he's talking about, but I'm also saying that there's climate change, and some of the cycles may be indicative of certain things happening, which would
Right.
which
We should
would
have
which
a
may
good a
predict the
robust
cycles.
discussion.
You
We
see,
should
so
bring
they
him on
might,
and have a robust
yeah.
discussion about it. It's interesting. It's rather interesting. Well, we have here with us this man he was on the truck and in St. Lucie, and was one of the voices that we heard, and that voice got bigger and bigger and bigger, and he's a St. Lucie resident, and this is Mr. Mark Baker, and he is on the team that put this motorcade together. So you need to call the Reverend Charles Morris and let him see the people that's behind it. It's not Marcia Week's water. I don't own any water. But it's the initiative of these wonderful people from St. Lucie, Mr. Mark Baker, and also the gentleman who did a lot of the administration to make sure that we have the police permit. So, Miss McLean, for the first time, I didn't have to put my name to get any police permit. It was all
Okay.
done by Mr. Graham husbands, and I want to welcome them both to the program. Good night, sirs.
Yes, good night. Thanks for having me. I just want to say one thing to Mr. Morris first. I would like to ask him three questions. One, if he live in St. Lucie. Two, if he's get funny looking water. And three, who give him the right to speak for the people of St. Lucie. That'll be just the three questions I would like to ask him. Moving smartly along. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to all the people that came out, to all the people that came out in the motorcade, for all the people that came out alongside the street to listen to us. I just want to say a big, big thank you. And to the other members of the team that without 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 you guys we couldn't have done it. And I muchly appreciate it. And I think that I speak for St. Lucie when I say we were very grateful. But I also want to say it is not over. We've only just begun. Because we are
Yeah.
not going to stop until we get what we are rightfully due. Um, I honestly believe that if you're paying for a service,
Mm-hmm.
you should be given the service that you're paying for. And we were suffering too long. Too long.
Yes.
Like I said, we get different shades of water depending. I don't know if it's the moon or the sun or whatever. But like I said today, I'm going to give you a chance to speak now, Graham. Like I said today, all the old pipes get put down together. And I would almost risk the bet that St. Lucie get the pipes last. Because we know it works. St. Lucie get the pipes last. But the rest of old pipes all over the island ain't giving ugly water, only one in St. Lucie. So I think it's more than the pipe. And I think it is about time that Barbados Water Authority come, sit with us, let us know what is going on, and level with us. We're not little children that you can come and just pull the wool over our eyes. You know, let us deal with this as adults. And in the meantime, I am advocating that we either get a reduced bill or a no bill at all, because you can't continue to pay for water that you cannot use. And I will go back to my favorite song today, Maddie Maddie Cry. We can't take it no more.
Yes. That was funny when we heard that one. We heard that song play. Let me get to Mr. Husband. Mr. Husband, I know you weren't on top of the truck, but you were in the motorcade itself. What when you heard your fellow citizens speaking on the microphone and sharing your thoughts and your viewpoint, how did that make you feel?
Well, first of all, good night to you, Marcia. Good night to
Yes, you're
Mr.
welcome.
McLean, Miss McLean, and Mr. Murray, and Mark and Caroline, who is also on with us. Um, I want to say that today was a good day in terms of the turnout. People were excited. It is true that some people, the word didn't get around as we would have anticipated, but certainly we covered, I would say, about 90% of St. Lucie today in
Mm,
our drive through. And there were a lot of things that were, it was somewhat revealing out of this exercise. Some people expressed their support and their appreciation for the awareness that we have placed into this drive.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to thank all the people of St. Lucie and those outside of St. Lucie who donated water and who accompanied us on this motorcade today.
Yes, well, I'm actually here. You saw me here messaging Shaquani, because we don't want to forget her. But I will talk about her a little later. But I join you definitely in thanking those persons who donated, and I know the young dems, they donated a lot of water to the cause today through Shaquani Hunt. And we want to really celebrate her, but I hope she's able to jump on. But I watch you at work, and I really admire how you take charge, and I want people to see the faces behind everything that was done today, and how well you guys executed it today, and I want to commend you. But there's also Caroline, who is with us. And Caroline, she apart from the young dems, she contacted churches, and she's part of the team, and very strong. I can tell you, she's one of the only female on there from St. Lucie, but really, really, really very strong woman. And how did you feel today, Caroline, when you saw the motorcade that you've been planning come to pass, and people were listening from their verandas or in their homes? How did you feel as a resident of St. Lucie?
Good night, Marcia, and good night to the loyal opposition and the guest speakers on the show tonight. I felt really good when I saw the support
Mm,
of the persons from all over Barbados. They came out to support the motorcade, and it was a really great feeling knowing that you're not alone. I know they don't have the day-to-day experience of living in St. Lucie and going through what we are going through, but they came and they gave their support, and it was a good feeling. One thing that I would have loved to have responded, or one person I would have loved to have responded to, voice on the motorcade, was the lady who said, why are you coming now? We have been going through this for a while. And I would have said to that lady, yes, we have been going through a while. It's almost 5, probably going into 6 years that we have been having this discolored water. But when you hear after 5 years of drinking and using discolored water, when you can hear just a casual announcement on the radio, residents of St. Lucie, you need to boil the water. Marcia, that has been a very traumatic thing
mm,
for the people in St. Lucie. And I would say to her, yes, we have been going on with it for a while, but after that announcement, there's no way that we can continue to go
mm.
as normal, because that has set a completely different atmosphere in St. Lucie. It that has affected our mental health, and it come from.
Can you explain a little bit more, Caroline, why that announcement? Because you have been going through this, you're saying, for over 6 years. I mean, the real dark water that you were getting. But why, when they said to boil the water, you said that struck a chord, or that was that nail, the last nail in the coffin for you? Why? Can you explain why?
Okay, now we have been, and I want to explain to persons, because I've heard people talking about, oh, we're getting brown water too. Now there's brown water that we have been getting And everybody in Barbados have been getting all through the all over the years, and you get that because of the iron pipes. And you know, when they want flushing or when a pipe goes off, you will get brown water. And that still happens. But this is not brown water. This is discolored water. There is a big difference. And it is a continuous discolored water. So we have been having this water for, you know, about over 5 years now. And you're saying, okay, the water is discolored, and, you know, and you're a little concerned. But, you know, and people say, okay, it's the pipe. And you go along with all these things, although you're saying, but other people have these pipes and they're not getting this. And, you know, you go on with it, and you go on. And even though it's uncomfortable and you don't like it, and people come and say, well, okay, it's going to take 10 years to sort out. And, you know, even though you don't like that either, you know, you go ahead with it. But when you can hear St. Lucie people boil the water, that's true. You know, that strikes a different chord. You are now separated from the remainder of Barbados, because it's now St. Lucie, the residents of St. Lucie.
Right.
You know, so now in your head, it's like, come on. Well, why the residents of St. Lucie? Why? And why are you saying boil the water? We have been drinking this water for 5 years, and now you come to tell us to boil the water. Can you imagine what is going through my head or our heads as to what's wrong with this water that we have been drinking for 5 years? And now you say boil. We have been drinking it for 5 years, and you only know now that we need to boil the water. You only know now that there's something wrong with this water. And what has it been doing to us for 5 years? You know, and that affects our psyche. What is going on? What are the side effects? What have you found? And you know, another thing, I never go through some experiences. You get up every morning and you use an electric kettle, all of us don't, to boil water. And soon as the water boils, it clicks out. Only know if you're going to kill bacteria, they will tell you how long to boil water.
Right.
So that electric kettle doesn't boil water for so long. So you're wondering now, Lord, is it, but this is mental trauma now. Is the water being boiled enough to kill whatever is in the water that nobody has said to us what it is? Nobody has come to us. And I'm saying that after this motorcade, as a matter of fact, this motorcade has been done to say to the relevant authorities, you need to come to the people in St. Lucie. We have real questions. And we have mental issue when it comes to this water. When you bathe with this, you have been bathing with this water, you've been drinking it, it's been on your skin, you have been cooking with it. When you bathe with this water, now all of a sudden you begin to imagine, or is it your imagination, or isn't it that, you know, your skin itching? And I'm saying it is real. You know, when something looks strange on your body, you are wondering, is it the water? Has this come from using this water? So you're in trouble. And I represent the ladies. You notice I'm the only lady on the team. I represent the ladies. We wonder, should we really be using this water? What are they going to come and tell us later on? I mean, we've been drinking it for more than 5 years now. And I believe it's time that research can be done on this throughout St. Lucie, you know, as to the effects, how people are feeling, how people are thinking. And again, I've had an experience, apart from other women saying to me, well, I don't know, this thing like itching me. You get this itching as well. And people are asking and people are saying these things, but you don't know.
You're saying without us being cross or anything that some of the females are noticing differences.
Yes.
And I
They're
mean,
asking questions,
wow.
and another thing, a very hurtful, painful thing to me. My granddaughter got into the car one day from school, and she said, "Granny, I am thirsty." I thought that children, she wanted some kind of drink or something. I thought that's what she was speaking about. But later, when I stopped at one of the community tanks to fill up, and there was no water in the tank, and she was like, "I thought I was going to get some. Granny, are you really thirsty?" So I said, "You mean you didn't get water?" She said she had been given a bottle of water to take to school. She had been given $2 to buy water. So the children in St. Lucie are taking school water. They have to buy water at school. And it is not enough because the days are hot. And she says, "Gran, I'm thirsty." And that hurt me. And I know that. I don't know if anybody can get that feeling. But when you hear a child can say, "I'm thirsty," in 2024 in Barbados, because she cannot drink the water or did not have enough money left back for the water she needed, it is wrong. It
Yes.
is so wrong.
It's
And
so good to hear your hear from you, the female among us. And I think someone raised that issue a couple nights ago, a couple weeks ago, about females, and you're saying that some of the women are complaining of certain parts of their bodies itching them, and they're not sure what is the reason. They're asking questions. Here it is, a little girl. Now we understand. Now we are getting to understand, Mr. Carter, what happens to a child in St. Lucie, what they're, I mean, your parents might give you all of the money in these other areas to buy a drink, but the children have to get money to buy water because they can't go and drink the water just like that. I mean, it gives us a whole different perspective. Mr. Carter, I know you came by and you're also on the team, but you couldn't stay as long. But how does it feel to know that you had quite a number of persons from different parts of Barbados coming to join with you? Did you feel that solidarity?
Good evening to everyone. Um, Thank you for allowing me to come in on the program. Yeah, I think that it speaks volumes that I saw a friend of mine who lives in St. Philip. He was there. I didn't see his wife, but she was probably with him. So that people would travel from all the way from St. Lucie to St. Lucie, from St. Philip to St. Lucie, to be part of this endeavor. Speaks volumes. I think that it says to the general public and definitely to the Barbados Water Authority and the government that this is a serious matter that the whole nation is paying attention to and are willing to become involved in the agitation to get it corrected. I was listening to the last speaker who was commenting on the instruction to boil the water. And I smiled when I first heard that person from the Ministry of Health with that comment. I smiled to myself. I didn't make a comment about it in another place. You cannot boil rust. You cannot boil rusty water and make it healthy. All that will happen is that at the end of the boiling exercise, the water will still be unhealthy. I made the point that pneumonia caused by rust in water kills about 750,000 people every year. worldwide. So this is a major health issue for us in St. Lucie and elsewhere in Barbados, who may be having a similar problem. But there's a major issue for us in St. Lucie, and I don't think the government is paying sufficient attention to it. I could make some other comments, but it is important that the nation as a whole understands that the people in St. Lucie are not just being critical and fretful and miserable. They are faced with a health crisis. Now, other issues have been raised as it pertains to women in particular. But I have a skin problem that has been aggravated by this water situation down here. People have been talking about itching. And that is a major problem for me right now, that my skin is constantly itching me. I've tried every kind of thing. I mean, it has subsided. I have to say it has subsided, but it is still there. It is still a problem for me. So that's an issue. The second thing that concerns me with this water issue is that there seems to be a conflict of information between the authority officials and the political directorate. And I'm saying political directorate because I heard the representative for St. Lucie say quite recently, maybe last 2 weeks, that the situation, the replacement of the mains is going to be done by, I think, in the next 2 years, within 2 years. I find that very interesting because an official from the Barbados Water Authority was on brass tacks probably about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 6 weeks ago, because I had gone on the program and commented on it, and then I understood that he came on the program the following day, the same afternoon, but it wasn't. By then I had gone off the program. But he said that replacing the infrastructure, the water infrastructure in St. Lucie, is a 5 to 10 year problem. So it's going to take 5 to 10 years. So when I hear this Minister of Government say that within 2 years it's going to be done, I'm saying, but you obviously know something that this person from this Barbados Water Authority engineer and official doesn't know, because I will have to go and get my notes. Listen, it took 2 years. Listen, be carefully. It took 2 years to replace 1 kilometer of mains down here. Now there are two types. There's the distribution main, which is what comes to us, the consumer. The distribution main comes to the consumer, come through the meter, which measures how much water you use. And then there is I'm going to call the main. I don't know, I can't remember the term I use. So there are two mains, right, where water comes.
Yes.
So the official said that it took 2 years to replace 1 kilometer. Listen to me carefully, friends. It took 2 years to replace 1 kilometer of mains.
Okay.
And you have 13 to 16 kilometers of mains to do. So if it took 2 years to do 1 kilometer, I don't know how you're going to do 13 plus kilometers in 2 years.
In 2 years. Wow.
The mathematics don't work out to me, right? I mean, I'm no mathematician, but that doesn't make any sense to me. So I said to myself, there is some miscommunication. I mean, I am going to go with the water authority official, because they should know what it is costing them and how long it's taking them to do what they're doing. So when a third person can come and say, oh, well, it's going to take 2 years rather than the 5 to 10 years that this man said, I said, well, you obviously know something near that Barbados Water Authority do not know. So that's a bit of a concern to me. So that's one concern I have. And the other one was where this Minister of Health person could come and say, boil the water. You cannot boil rusty water and make it healthy. I mean, that's ludicrous. I wonder if the person might have been simple. Maybe he meant, sometimes our brain works so fast that our mouths don't catch up, right? So maybe that he meant to say something else, and that's it. So that's all I can say in that regard.
Yeah.
But those are some of the issues we have here. Now let me say one more thing before somebody. Let me say one more thing.